Today we're going to be taking a look at some new 2021 Honda side-by-side news that was just released. The timing on this one is a little odd considering they announced their entire 2021 model lineup back in June of last year, but we've had a lot of issues in the last year that have thrown wrenches in a lot of model timelines, so who knows what the exact reasoning is. And first up, we'll tackle the new 2021 Pioneer 1000 Special Edition models. Yes, a special edition built off of the limited edition. This won't make things confusing for some people at all. But what do we have here? What is the SE model? You take the Pioneer 1000 limited edition that has been around for a few years now and throw on some more goodies out of Honda's accessory catalog, and there you go. Is it a bargain though? At $21,999 for the 3-seater and $23,999 for the 5-seater, they definitely aren't cheap. But if you were planning on installing these accessories though, is it actually a deal, or are you just paying full retail for the accessories and labor? Let's break it down. The Pioneer 1000 SE models get a hard roof, which is normally $439 for the 3-seater and $599 for the 5-seater, with a flat rate labor rating of 0.5 hours. On the windshield, it's the 2-piece poly, but it doesn't say if it's the optical or hard coat finish, and at the time of making this video, I haven't gotten confirmation back from Honda, but the cheaper optical is $536 and the hard coat is $637, with flat rate coming in at an hour. Next up are the Fender Flares, which come in at $119 and 0.3 hours of labor, followed up by the Warn VRX 45 4,500-pound winch at $484. Then the mounting kit for it is $314, with flat rate calling for 2 hours in labor. You also have the rear view mirror, which comes in at $89, with 0.2 hours of labor for it. Next up is the 14-inch LED light bar at $369, which calls for 1 hour in labor, followed up by the LED light bar's wiring harness at $49, that also calls for 1 hour of labor. Then you have the switch plate voltmeter wire harness at $329, and it calls for 2.5 hours in labor. Then you'll also need the fuse relocation bracket at $34 and accessory sub harness at $895 because of the light bar and winch combination. Now, how much is our tab up to? If you were to buy each item separately, it would put you at about $2,800 for the 3-seater and right at $3,050 for the 5-seater. And don't forget, that's not counting the labor. Going off of Honda's flat rate, those accessories call for 8.5 hours in labor, and most shops are around $90 an hour, so that would put you up to around $765 for installation. So in the end, it would cost you around $3,500 to build your own Pioneer 1000 SE off of the LE platform. Or you could just buy it from Honda and only spend $3,000 more, as their retail prices are $3,000 apart. $18,999 versus $21,999. And you have the same story on the 5-seater version. The Pioneer 1005 SE is $23,999, whereas the LE is $20,999, but it would cost you around $3,800 to build the same thing instead of $3,000. All in all, I love what Honda is doing with the Pioneer 1000 and toying around and trying new things, but we do need to do something about the wheel and tire department. I mean, look at how funny it looks from the front with those tiny things. What are those? It's not that bad when it's stock, but once you throw on those Fender Flares and look at it from the front at this angle, it's pretty bad. What do you guys think though? Let me know your thoughts on the new Pioneer SE models in the comment section below. And next up are the new 2021 Talon 1000 Special Edition models. One of them is built off the Talon 1000R Fox Live Valve chassis, while the other is built off the Talon 1000X4 Fox Live Valve. It's basically the same thing as before with the Pioneer models. You take that chassis, throw on some accessories, and now you have your Special Edition. And keep in mind, all of the live valve features that set it apart from the standard models do carry over to these Special Edition models. All right, launch mode, automatic, sport mode. and then we take and add some more accessories to it. Now, these SE models come in priced $3,000 higher than the next model below them. Is it worth it? Is the Talon 1000R SE worth $26,099? Is the 1000 X4 SE worth $26,999? Let's go over the accessories added and break down the total cost to see if it's really a deal or if you're just paying full retail and not saving any money. First up is the front bumper at $395 and a labor rate of 0.3 hours. Then you have the worn 3,500 pound winch at $510, followed up with the mount kit at $270, and it calls for 2 hours in labor to install. Then that's followed up by the vented windshield at $614 with 0.6 hours in labor. Then you have the 40-inch LED light bar at $649 with 1.3 hours in labor to install. And to install the light bar, you also need the switch plate with voltmeter at $299.95, as well as the accessory sub-harness at $76. And labor for both of those items comes in at 0.9 hours. Next up is the rear view mirror at $209.95 and a whopping 0.1 hour in labor to install, followed up by the last thing, which are the lower doors at $209. The lower doors aren't the easiest thing to install in the world, so labor comes in at 1.8 hours for those. And that's all of the accessories added to the SE Talon models. The total in accessories alone comes in at $3,195, and then you have 7 hours of labor at roughly $90 an hour, which puts you at around $630. Then we add the labor and accessory total together, and you're looking at around $3,800 to build your own SE model based off of the Fox Live Valve chassis, or you can buy it from Honda for $3,000 extra and save a few bucks. Now, what about color options for the new Talon and Pioneer SE models? You only have one, and it's called Viper Urban Camo, thanks to a collaboration with True Timber. They're also going to be offering some special clothing for those that may want to deck themselves out to match their unit. How about release dates on the new Pioneer and Talon SE models? Are they going to be pumping these things out next month, considering 2022 announcements are right around the corner? Not technically. Honda's being a little vague at the moment, and they're just telling us summer of 2021 for release. So what did we learn today? Honda's still a little slow at some things, especially where other manufacturers are hitting home runs right now, but they are trying, and they're doing more than they have in the past with units like this, so I'll give them some props. But they can't stop here. If they really want to battle for that #1 spot in the side-by-side market, they've got a long ways to go. But what do you guys think? What do you think about Honda toying around with building different versions like this to give you more options? Do you want to see Honda offer as many options as Polaris, Can-Am, and some of the other guys? And what changes do you want to see in the near future for the Pioneer 1000 and Talon 1000 model lineups? But that'll do it for this video, guys. Thanks as always for watching and for the continued support. I really appreciate it. We'll see you in the next one.